Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, happy Tuesday. I'm meteorologist Liam Kenny. Welcome back to yet another tropical update. I feel like every single time that I've gone to make a video, there's been something going on in the tropics that every one of you has been needed to be informed on. And because of that, I feel like I haven't done any other video just besides tropical updates over the last several weeks, considering how many tropical systems we have been watching. First, it was Ida, then Larry, now Nicholas, and now we have two more areas of investigation, meaning the tropics just do not stop. And let me tell you, that has definitely been keeping me on my feet, making graphics so that way every one of you knows what is going on. Believe it or not, we are still dealing with Tropical Storm Nicholas. Fun fact, it actually became a hurricane right before it made landfall with winds of 75 miles an hour right near the Houston and Galveston Bay area. Dropped several inches of rain to places like Houston, Galveston, and then eventually into Louisiana, places like Lake Charles, Baton Rouge, Cameron, Louisiana, New Orleans, Grand Isle. I mean, all these areas that are usually very hard hit by hurricanes, especially New Orleans and Grand Isle with Hurricane Ida 2 weeks ago. They are back in it again today with a very slow move river storm, also known as Nicholas, all right? We also have another area of potential development. This is Invest 96L. It currently has about a 60% chance of developing somewhere in this general area where the water temperatures are very, very warm. There's plenty of moisture in the atmosphere with very little to no wind shear. So basically perfect conditions for making tropical systems, all right? Here's a look at Tropical Storm Nicholas. Believe it or not, the center is actually somewhere right in here. I mean, everything with the system is on this eastern and southeastern side. I mean, you can see there's been some really big thunderstorms firing up along this line. But believe it or not, you can see there's a center of circulation right there. Still back in eastern Texas. While really all the shower action is still on this eastern side into places like eastern Louisiana and Mississippi. All right, we're still dealing with a tropical storm. Believe it or not. A 40-mile-per-hour system with a low minimum pressure, 1,003 millibars, and is moving effortlessly so slow as 6 miles per hour east-northeast, all right? The system will eventually continue to die down, even though, let me say this, whether or not it's a very strong storm or not, it's still going to be a very big rainmaker, especially for the whole entire state of Louisiana, and then eventually into Mississippi. So regardless of how strong the center is, this system is definitely going to continue to be a very big rainmaker for portions of eastern Texas, the whole entire state of Louisiana, and then eventually getting into Mississippi, all right? And as you can see, once again, the center is over near Houston. All the rain action is now in Alexandria, Baton Rouge, Jackson, New Orleans, Biloxi, and then into Grand Isle. I mean, everything is going to be on this eastern side, well away from that center, and we're still dealing with a flash flood warning there near Lake Charles as of 5:05 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And as you can guess, considering how much rainfall we have seen, we have a flash flood watch that goes all the way from eastern Texas throughout the whole entire state, or the southern part of the state, into Mississippi, and we still are dealing with several flash flood warnings, right near Lake Charles, up just to the north of Lake Pontchartrain, and then also into the western portions of Mississippi. So as you can guess, we are still expecting a lot more of the system, potentially upwards of 3 to 5 inches of rain. Anywhere where you see that yellow, anywhere where you see that orange, that is going to be up to a foot or more, potentially. So this is still a very dangerous situation and will be a very big rainmaker, especially through the rest of the day and then eventually into tomorrow, all right? Moving past Nicholas, let's talk about Invest 96 here. Once again, about a 60% chance of developing over the next several days. If it goes anywhere, it's going to be somewhere in this general area, so just off the coast of the Carolinas. However, we're going to have a frontal boundary that's going to come in and push it out of the way, all right? Here's a look at it right now. There's the center of circulation right there. Everything is going to be on this eastern side, just like with Nicholas. However, you can see there's a cold front swooping into the west, and that is what's going to be keeping it offshore. And we can definitely see that by these graphics right here, all right? So the area of high pressure that is just to the east of it, that is pushing it a little bit more westward. However, this cold front that's back into the Great and Central Plains, that's going to be eventually swooping east and also moving Nicholas just a little bit more eastward, all right? So as we head into tomorrow and then eventually into Thursday, that cold front swoops east, and that's going to be pushing Invest 96L just off the coast of the Carolinas, especially now that it's going to be on that western side of that area of high pressure. And then eventually, as we progress this even more, now it's going to be in this general area, blocking it. There we go, in this general area right there, so just off the coast of the Mid-Atlantic. And once again, that cold front is going to basically be a boundary saying, hey, Invest 96L, you can't come over here. So definitely, our big thanks is due to this massive cold front that's going to be swooping in from the west, and that is what is going to be keeping this tropical system off the coast of the United States, all right? So here's Nicholas, and then I'm going to go off to the side. Let me start that over. All right, here we go. So there's a system right there just off the coast of North Carolina now. There we go, up into the northeast. That frontal boundary swoops in and then pushes it offshore. So once again, that frontal boundary is going to be our saving grace when it comes to steering this particular system, all right? Just off the coast of Africa, we now have Invest 95L, a 90% chance of forming into a tropical system. Anywhere we see this red, that is exactly where the National Hurricane Center is thinking that this system will definitely get more organized, where the water temperatures are very, very warm. There is plenty of available moisture in the atmosphere to fuel any thunderstorms that might be firing up with very little to no wind shear. So once again, basically perfect conditions for strengthening tropical systems, all right? So the center is somewhere right in here. You really can't see, a big cluster of thunderstorms at all. So really it doesn't have that look you would typically see within a tropical system. However, it definitely has that very circular formation. I mean, this system is a very wide and big storm. It's not really defined just yet, but it's definitely looking better on satellite imagery than it has over the last 36 to 48 hours, all right? All the spaghetti models are definitely in agreement that it'll be going somewhere in this general area just to the north of the Lesser Antilles. However, will it make a northern turn right before it makes it to the Leeward Islands? That is a possibility, and you can all see just in just a second how that will play out, all right? How strong is Invest 95L going to be? Most likely becoming a Category 1 hurricane by around the 100th hour. Could it potentially make it to Category 2, maybe even Category 3? It's possible. It's still very, very early in its lifetime. However, considering how early we are in the game, anything is possible within 95L, all right? So here's the center right here. Watch it. There's the westward motion getting closer and closer to the Lesser Antilles. And then as soon as it gets closer, it's going to make that little northern turn and then eventually make a big northern turn and potentially go way far off the United States and, just sit out in the Atlantic, potentially gaining strength. But once again, that frontal boundary that's actually going to be pushing 96L out of the way, that's going to be taking 95L out of the way also. So this cold front could not only steer 96 out of the way, but could also steer 95L out of the way, all right? Once again, here we go. Watch the pressure. As the pressure decreases, the strength increases. There's that little northern turn as soon as it gets to the Leeward Islands, and then eventually basically just going right out to the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. So this model is definitely what we want. This model is showing that it will have absolutely no impact in the United States at all. However, it is still very, very early in the game, and God forbid 95L does become a named storm. Our next name on the list is Tropical Storm or Hurricane Odette. All right, so that's basically it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Please be sure to visit my website above at www.liamsweather.org. And if any of you want to follow me on my social media, I'm on Facebook at Liam Kenny. I'm on Instagram at Liam's Weather, and I'm also on Twitter at Liam's Weather 621. Please be sure you are subscribed to my YouTube channel. You turn on that notification bell so that way you always get notified whenever I post videos. And also be sure to click that like button if you are enjoying the content, all right? So once again, that is basically it for today. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a great rest of your night.